MANDREWS Hymn by Rudyard Kipling. Lord, thou hast made this world below the shadow of a dream, and taught by time, I tack it so accept and always steam. From coupler flange to spindle guide, I see thy hand, O God, predestination, in the stride, O yon connectin' rod. John Calvin might ha forged the same enormous certain slow, I wrought it in the furnace flame, my institutio. I cannot get my sleep tonight, old bones are hard to please, ill stand the middle watch up here alone. Why God, and these my engines after 90 days. Oh, race and rack and strain, through all the seas of all thy world slambangin home again. Slambang too much they knock we the crosshead jibs are loose, but 30,000 mile o sea has jied them fair excuse. Fine clear and dark, a full draft breeze, why ushin out o sight, and Ferguson relievin' hey old girl yell walk tonight. His wife's at Plymouth 7123, since he began 3 turns for Mistress Ferguson, and who's to blame the man? There's none at any port for me, by driven fast or slow, since Elsie Campbell went to thee Lord 30 years ago. The year the Sarah Sands was burned o roads, we used to tread fra Maryhill to Pollokshaws, fra Govan to Parkhead not. But there a Seville on the board yell hear Sir Kenneth say good morn Andrew back again, and how's your bilge today Miss Collin technicalities? But handed me my chair to drink Madeira, why 3 earls the auld fleet engineer, that started as a boiler whelp when steam and he were low. I mind the time we used to serve a broken pipe why toe. £10 was all the pressure, then a man wad drive and here our workin' gauges, give 155. We're creepin' on why each new rig less weight and larger power, there'll be the locoboiler, next in 30 knots an hour. 30 and more what I ha seen, since ocean steam began leaves me no doot for the machine, but what about the man? The man that counts why all his runs 1 million mile o sea 4 time, the span from earth to moon, how far O Lord from thee? That wast beside him night and day ye mind my first typhoon. It scoffed the skipper on his way to jock why the saloon. 3 feet were on the stokehold floor, just slappin' to and fro, and cast me on a furnace door, I have the marks to show. Marks I ha marks o more than burns deep in my soul, and black, and times like this, when things go smooth my wickedness comes back. The sins o 44 years all up and down the seas clack, and repeat, like valves half-ed forgies our trespasses. Nights when id come on deck, to mark why envy in my gaze the couples kitlin in the dark between the funnel stays years, when I rake the ports why pride to fill my cup, O wrong judge, not O Lord my steps aside at Gay Street in Hong Kong. Blot out the wastrel hours of mine in sin, when I abode Jane Harrigan's in number 9, the Reddick and Grant Road. And more than all my crown in sin, rank blasphemy and wild. I was not 24, then ye wadna judge a child. I'd seen the tropics first that run new fruit, new smells, new air, how could I tell blind foo, why son the deal was lurkin' there? By day like playhouse scenes, the shore slid past our sleepy eyes, by night those soft lascivious stars leered from those velvet skies, in port. We used no cargo steam id donder down the streets and age it grinnin' in a dream for shells and parakeets and walkin' sticks o carved bamboo, and blowfish stuffed and dried fill in my bunk. Why rubbishry, the chief put overside. Till off Sambawa head ye mind I heard a land breeze caw milkworm, why breath o spice and bloom Andrew. Come o firm clear and low no haste no hate, the ghostly whisper went just statin evidential facts, bayon all argument your mither's gods, a graspin' deal the shadow o yorsel, got out o books by ministers clean daft on heaven and hell. They mack him in the broomy-law o Glasgie, cold and dirt a jealous prideful fetish lad, that's only strong to hurt yell, not go back to him again and kiss his red-hot rod. But come why us now, who are they and know the leavin' God, that does not kipper souls for sport or break a life in jest, but swells the ripenin' coconuts and ripes the woman's breast in there, it stopped cut off no more that quiet certain voice for me 6 months o 24 to leave or take it choice. 'Twas on me like a thunderclap, it racked me through and through temptation, past the show o speech unnameable and knew the sin against the Holy Ghost, and under all our screw. That storm blew by, but left behind her anchor shift in swell, thou knowest all my heart and mind, thou knowest Lord I fell. 3rd on the Mary Gloucester then, and first that night in hell. Yet was thy hand beneath my head about my feet, thy care fra deli clear to Tours straight the trial o despair, but when we touched the barrier reef thy answer to my prayer. We dared not run that sea by night, but lay and held our fire and I was drowsin' on the hatch sick why doubt, entire better the sight of eyes that see than wanderin' o desire, Ye mind that word clear as our gongs again and once again. When rippin' down through coral trash ran out our murrin chain, and by thy grace, I had the light to see my duty plain. Light on the engineer room, no more bright as our carbons burnt. I've lost it since 1,000 times, but never past return. Observe per annum well have here 2,000 souls aboard, think not I dare to justify myself before the Lord, but average 1,500 souls, safe-borne fra port, to port I am o service to my kind, ye wadna blame the thought. Maybe they steam from grace to wrath to sin by folly, let it isna mine, to judge their path, their lives are on my head. Mine at the last when all is done, it all comes back to me the fault that leaves 6,000 ton, a log upon the sea. Well tack one stretch 3 weeks and odd, by any road ye steer fra Cape Town east to Wellington, ye need an engineer. Fail there ye've time to weld your shaft I eat it ere your spoke, or make Kerguelen under sail, 3 jiggers burned why smoke. And home again, the run it's no child's play to go steamin' to Bell for 14 days o' snow, and flow and blow the bergs like kelpies overside, that gurn and turn and shift war grindin', like the mills o' God goes by the big south drift. Hail snow and ice that praise the Lord, I've met them at their work, and wished we had another route, or they another kirk yawns, strain hard strain o' head and hand, for though thy power brings all skill to not yell understand a man must think o' things. Then at the last well get to port and hoist their baggage clear the passengers why, gloves and canes in this, is what ill here well thank ye for a pleasant voyage the tender's common now, while I go testin' follower bolts and watch the skipper bow. They've words for every one but me shake hands why half the crew, except the dour Scots, engineer the man they never knew. And yet I like the work for all we've damn few pickins, here no pension, and the most we earns £400 a year. Better myself, abroad maybe id sooner, starve than sail why such as call a snifterod Ross French for nightingale. Commission on my stores some do, but I cannot afford to lie like stewards, why paddy pans I am older than the board. A bonus on the coal, I save the Scots are close, but when I grudge the strength ye gave ill grudge their food to those. There's bricks that I might recommend in clink, the firebar's cruel. No Welsh wangardy at the worst and damn, all patent fuel inventions, ye must stay in port to mac a patent pay. My differential valve gear taught me how that business lay I blame no chaps why clearer head for aught they make, or sell, I found that I could not invent and look to these as well. So wrestled why Apollyon na fretted like a bairn, but burned the workin'plans last run why all I hope to earn. You know how hard an idol dies, and what that meant to me, e'en tack it for a sacrifice acceptable to thee, below there oiler, what's your work ye find it runnin' hard. Ye needn't swill the cap why oil this isn't the cunard. Ye thought ye are not paid to think go sweat, that off again tck, it's difficult to swear, nor tack the name in vain. Men, I and women call me stern why these to oversee yell note I've little time, to burn on social repartee. The bairns see what their elders miss they'll hunt me to and fro, till for the sake of well, a kiss, I tack him down below. That minds me of our Viscount Loon Sir Kenneth's kin the chap, why Russia leather tennis shoon and spardecked yachting cap. I showed him round last week o'er all, and at the last says, he Mr. M. Andrew, don't you think steam spoils romance, at sea damned aged id been dune, that morn, to see what ailed the throws manholin on my back the cranks 3 inches off my nose. Romance those first-class passengers, they like it very well printed and bound in little books, but why don't poets tell? I am sick of all their quirks, and turns the loves and doves they dream Lord, send a man like Robbie Burns, to sing the song o' steam. To match why Scotia's noblest speech yon orchestra sublime Watteau, uplifted like the just the tail rods mark the time. The crank throws give the double bass the feed pump sobs and heaves, and now, the main eccentrics start their quarrel on the sheaves, her time, her own appointed time, the rocking linkhead bides, till hear that note the rods return wings glimmerin' through the guides. They ray all a true beat full power, the clangin' chorus goes clear to the tunnel, where they sit my purrin' dynamos. Interdependence absolute foreseen, ordained decreed to work yell note at any tilt, and every rate o' speed. Frost skylight lift to furnace bars backed, bolted, braced and stayed in singin', like the mornin' stars for joy that they are made, while out o' touch o' vanity, the sweatin' thrust block, says not unto us the praise or man, not unto us the praise now together hear them, lift their lesson, theirs in mine law order duty and restrained obedience discipline mill forge, and tripe it taught them, that when roarin' they arose and whiles I wonder if a soul was jied them why the blows. Oh, for a man to weld it, then in one triphamer strain, till even first-class passengers could tell the meanin' plain. But no one cares except mysel, that serve and understand my 7,000 horsepower here. Lord, they're a grand, they're a grand. Uplift am I when first in store, the new-made beasties stood, where ye cast down, that breath the word declarin' all things good. Not so that world lift in joy no afterfall could vex ye've left a glimmer still, to cheer the man the artifex that holds in spite knock, and scale friction, waste and slip, and by that light now mark my word, well build the perfect ship. I'll never last to judge her lines, or take her curve not Roman one, but I ha lived and I ha worked be thanks to thee most high. And I ha done what I ha done judge thou if ill or well always thy grace preventin' me. Losh yawns the standby bell. Pilot so soon his flared is the mornin' watch is set. Well God be thanked as I was sayin' I am no Pelagian yet. Now ill tack on morn Ferguson man, have ye ever thought what your good leddy costs in coal, burn 'em down to port.